love, family enmity, and sacrifice, a storm like no other, where the bullet was meant for someone else, but it tore apart someone else's heart. Will the fire of a blind enmity forever unite two stranger hearts? When Lala's goon pulls the trigger to kill Sihan, Elf comes in between. She is the girl who is Lala's own real niece. Now on one side is Ghazi Yusuf's revenge, on the other is Lala's regret, and caught between them all is Elf, fighting for her life on the hospital bed, who in her unconscious state held Sihan's hand and made him promise that he would never leave her. When a cafe of love is decorated on the land of hatred and the secrets of the past are revealed, will Sihan and Elf's incomplete story reach its conclusion, or will these bloody ties of enmity destroy their world forever? The story begins with a morning scene where Sihan's father is looking at the documents given by his lawyer. Meanwhile, Sihan gets ready and comes there. His father tells him that these documents contain the list of all their property and the will. Sihan becomes emotional and says that he doesn't want any of this. He will always stay with his father and be his support. He tells his father that since visiting the graveyard, his heart has been very restless and he should not talk about things like death. His father reminds him that he is the son of Ghazi Yusuf, who was born to scare others, not to be scared, and then asks about the task he had assigned him, to which the employee replies that everything is under control. On the other side, in the hospital, a woman named Chanda is preparing to be discharged and go home, expressing her frustration with the hospital over her carelessness. Meanwhile, Elf comes to visit her, and Chanda expresses sorrow over the passing of Elf's mother. Elf says that because of loneliness, she couldn't stay at home, so she came to the hospital. Chanda and the other women express concern about her being alone and the problems she will face in the future, saying that no matter how independent a woman becomes in our society, the protection of family and loved ones is very important. Meanwhile, an office scene is shown where a project is being discussed regarding some land and the restaurant located there. The boss is told that the owner of the restaurant is no longer in this world, and he has one daughter. The boss orders that the girl should be given whatever price she demands, and the property must be acquired at any cost. When the employee tells him that Sihan visits that house very often and has become quite involved with Dr. Elf, the boss gets angry and says that he will handle Sihan himself. He instructs the employee to carry out this deal with complete secrecy so that Sihan doesn't find out. The story moves forward, and Sihan's employee Zakaria brings him an envelope, which makes Sihan happy after seeing it. He goes to Elf and gives her a bag that contains Elf's mother's valuable watch, which the dacoits had taken. Elf becomes extremely happy and emotional upon seeing her mother's keepsake and thanks Sihan. She jokingly asks Sihan if he was the one who had sent the dacoits that night. Sihan feels a little hurt by this, but Elf apologizes and offers him tea. Sihan says he has to go to Chanda's place, but he bids Elf goodbye in a cheerful mood and leaves. The story suddenly takes a dangerous turn when a murderous attack is made on Sihan. As soon as Sihan's father receives the news, he goes mad with anger and fear and shouts at the security in charge that if anything happens to his son, he will not spare him. In the hospital, Sihan tells his father on the phone that he is fine, but in the process of saving him, Dr. Elf got shot and is now fighting between life and death. The doctors say that the bullet has been removed, but the next 24 hours are extremely critical. Sihan's father suspects that this attack was carried out by their old enemy Lala. Sihan is very worried and grief-stricken in the hospital and holds himself responsible for Elf's condition. His father encourages him and says that whoever fired at their world, they will not spare him. Zakaria confirms that this attack was indeed carried out by Lala. Sihan insists on going with his father, but his father tells him to stay with Elf and leaves with his men to take revenge from Lala. The father reaches Lala's den with his goons, where bitter words are exchanged between the two old enemies. Sihan's father wants to punish the shooter with his own hands, while Lala says that it was their business rivalry. "You had broken my sister Mariam's heart, which is why she died." Sihan's father says that he always considered Mariam as his sister and curses Lala for firing at his own sister's daughter, Elf. Lala is shocked because his man had not told him the truth that the bullet had hit the girl. Lala shoots the mute employee right there, who had injured Elf. An agreement is made between the two that they will not bring their families in between anymore. Otherwise, funerals will be raised from both sides. In the hospital, Sihan keeps sitting by Elf's bedside. When Elf starts regaining consciousness, in her unconscious and drowsy state, she holds Sihan's hand and makes him promise that he will never leave her alone. Sihan promises her from the bottom of his heart that he will always stay with her. The hospital staff and Elf's friends are surprised by Sihan's behavior and his staying there all night, but Sihan proudly says that he is there to take care of Elf and does not allow anyone to interfere. The next day, when Sihan returns home, Chanda and his father are waiting for him. The father tells him to go back to America because his life is in danger here, but Sihan clearly refuses and says that he wants to stay here with his father. On the other side, Lala orders his men that as soon as Sihan heads to the airport, he should be shot because he does not want to let his enemy become weak. When Sihan goes to his room, Chanda asks him about the hospital matter and Elf. Sihan opens his heart in front of Chanda and confesses that the girl who seemed bad to him just 4 days ago has now become his life. He says that when Elf was shot, it felt as if his world had ended, and if this is love, then let it be love. Elf is shifted to a hospital room and Sihan arranges a private nurse for her so that she can be taken care of completely. He takes her for walks and beautiful conversations happen between them. Elf asks him who fired the bullet, to which Sihan says that the target was him, but now the matter is over. He also sends 2 servants to her house for her safety and care so that she does not feel alone. In the last part of the story, Sihan gets Elf's mother Miriam's old closed cafe renovated and decorated in a new style to surprise Elf. He also hires a new manager there. When Elf reaches the cafe, she is surprised and happy to see the decoration. She introduces Sihan to her old friend Aurangzeb, who is a doctor. Sihan tells Elf that this cafe now belongs to her, and he has also hired a manager to run it. Sihan leaves, saying he has some important work, and the story moves forward with deep enmity and feelings of love revolving around Sihan, Elf, and their families.